And Hardik, I'm putting you in the hot seat because most of the questions have come on Balance Advantage Fund to us. And
Okay.
I will just give you, mashup of questions which we have got. So questions are why some of the people have appreciated and admired the way our investment team have managed the BAF. We have also got questions on questioning that why are we so conservative on BAF and didn't we move too early at 30%? Some people also want to know in detail on the process at which the BAF works, which is based on fair value, which partly Vinay has covered. People will also want to know on the debt and equity in terms of cap curve and in debt, what is the way in which we manage. And people have also said that how do you compare to other BAFs in the market and what is unique about us? Why should they be selling our BAF? So if you can cover all that, over to you, Hardik.
Yes, I'll cover all that. So, okay, first, starting with the question which had a remark that are we too conservative? I would say, if we dial back, go back about more than a year ago, in March 2020, we were one of the first balance advantage funds to go up to 76% as of 31st March 2020. And in the next couple of days of April, we were at 80%. So that was our the upper limit that we touched. Now, I'll just show that. So now that actually was, at that time considered aggressive. We wouldn't want to really accept any tag of whether we are aggressive or conservative. We try to be realistic with how the market is. If we feel that markets are really attractive as they were, as Vinay indicated that there was an unprecedented low valuation seen in March 2020, then of course the one thing we can do is go out and communicate to all the partners and scream at the top of the roof that markets are cheap, go ahead and invest. But balance advantage and a dynamic asset allocation funds, the equity savings funds as well, are two places where we can actually implement this view. We went ahead and we did that. The allocation went up. It was, as I said, one of the first funds or the quickest ones to reach that top level. And we also held this position the longest. We held it till at least end of August. So from that is what we did back then. In March 2020, April 2020, we were having questions as to are you too aggressive? What are you seeing in the market? Things are going to, people are comparing 2020 with 1923's Great Depression in the US and giving those parables. So I think we are in a very unprecedented situation where the pendulum has swung so rapidly in a very short period, as Vinay said, and hence now we are in a reverse position. But I don't think that we are doing anything that is either aggressive or conservative. The fair values are a very sticky concept. They don't change materially from one point to another. And we are talking about the fair value of Nifty, which is what the balance advantage fund model takes into consideration. So it's a basket of 50 companies spread over different industries. And, we keep giving this example that if you have a real estate apartment and if you use half year's rent, it doesn't mean that the value of your apartment declines by half. Similarly, when last year we saw that maybe some profits will be lost because of the pandemic, people had beaten down the market to the extent that they did. From that low, we have seen an increase in the profits, and people are again swinging up into the euphoria zone. But we don't think the fair value has moved by that kind of degree of variation. So hence, markets are now expensive, as the slide which we had earlier indicated that now we are at a premium zone. So just like last time when we felt the markets were too cheap, right now we feel the markets are too expensive, and we have gone ahead and reduced our allocation to equity. That's the point as to why the model is where it is, and it is completely embedded in the fair value approach that we use. There is nothing different than what we have been doing in the last 36 months plus of this fund's existence.
Just one point which I want to add to what Hardik highlighted, Saurabh. And I think we have been getting a lot of questions on balance advantage fund. I think a lot of people consider this fund and look at its relative returns to the category. They look at the performance of the fund in last 6 months, 1 year. I think I want to make things very, very clear. This is a fund which helps investors save money for the long term and give them a good night's sleep. We are not here in a rat race. We are not here to give the best returns by taking the most risk. We are here to deliver a sustainable, consistent return over a longer period of time. It is intended for people who do not want to, think about markets. They are in the markets for the first time. They are not ready to, decide whether markets are cheap or expensive. They have left it on experts. And what are the experts doing? The experts are basically not looking at what is happening in the market now, because that's what everyone is doing. We want to remove the emotions out of investing. The biggest tagline of this fund, whom is this fund good for? Is for people who want to remove the emotions out of investing. What is the dominant emotion today? The dominant emotion today is greed. So what should we do? Should we participate and look at what is our performance and run after performance, or should we remove the impact of emotions? And by the way, the dominant emotion in April 2020 was fear, and we tried to remove that emotion. So the key point which I want to communicate is Union Mutual Fund runs its funds true to mandate without looking at what is the near-term outcome. We are true to mandate. We have a strong investment process which does not keep fluctuating depending on markets fluctuation, and which endeavors to generate consistent outcomes based on what is communicated. So there is a popular terminology in information technology, which is called what you see is what you get. I don't know many people who are not new. Who are old in this market and who have used the old DOS-based browser. They would have used this text-based internet. At that time, this term was very popular. What you see is what you get. And now, in financial terminology, we are also trying to highlight that investors will get what they see when they invest in Union Mutual Funds. Yeah.
So as Vinay highlighted, that's what we are doing. We are trying to keep emotions out of the picture. And to that extent, hence the tag of either being conservative or aggressive doesn't apply to us. As far as the positioning within the cap curve is concerned and how the fixed income position is there. So the fund has always maintained a stance that the fixed income part of the portfolio will act as a shield. Whatever capital appreciation we do end up generating on the equity side, that will be protected by the fixed income portion. We don't take any credit calls there. We have papers with highest levels of safety. From the credit quality perspective, we don't take any aggressive calls on duration either. So as I said, the role is to only protect capital. So the portfolio on the fixed income side is constructed accordingly. On the equity side also, we don't take any calls on the caps. So we only have large caps right now, or we have been maintaining a largely large cap oriented portfolio, not too much of concentration and diversified across sectors. So far our endeavor has been to generate this or deliver this objective of giving stable returns with very little volatility. And we are trying to do that primarily through asset allocation, moving in and out of equity as the markets indicate what the situation should be. We have not taken any other call either on the equity side to add further layer of risk to this particular aspect of our fund management process on the balance advantage fund. So that's how the equity and the debt portion, those are respectively managed. This is how things are so far on the equity side. There have been a lot of questions in the past also whether we will take some more small caps and mid caps to enhance the return generating capability. As we said, as of now, we are not completely close to that idea. But right now, as of now, we have not seen any merit in really introducing it so far. The portfolio and this process has done very well, simply investing in large caps and doing what it's supposed to do, that is move in and out of equity. Is there anything else, Saurabh, on the BAF fund that or the hybrid category that needs to be addressed?
So one question, Hardik, is on how often do you change the allocation?
So the allocation is the portfolio has, first of all, the philosophy is to operate with very low churn. So we try to operate with as least churn as possible. And at current juncture, of course, the portfolio has been at the bottom level for quite some time. I would say the most aggressive churn happens when the markets are completely erratic. It happened in the March 2020 period, where in 1 month we went from 55 to 75%. That was the most aggressive buying or portfolio rebalancing that happened. Otherwise, we typically rebalance the portfolio even when the model is moving in upward direction once in 3 days. So from that perspective, the churn is very limited. We consciously do that. That is also the reason why we keep large cap predominantly in our portfolio, where the market, the impact cost is limited, and we don't have to worry about buying into or exiting out of or reducing names which are relatively liquid. But the churn is, as I said, relatively the one of the lowest that we can manage.
And just to highlight, if need be, we can do it daily. But generally, we do not need to do it like this.
Yeah.
Saurabh, can I just add a little bit to this BAF? Because obviously this is the category of funds that is being most widely talked about in our industry, at least for the last few days, for obvious reasons. Okay, see what exactly is the value proposition of BAF? Why should one invest in BAF? It's very important to understand that, because BAF is not a product that is to be used for monthly dividend, etc. And people who have mistakenly adopted that approach have paid a heavy price in the past. So please don't forget history, because if you forget history, we are condemned to repeat it. Okay, BAF is a product which gives over a period of time equity market kind of returns with significantly lower volatility. The key, why is a BAF different from a pure equity fund? It is in reducing volatility. Okay, in a secular bull market, like what we have had in the last, say, 15 months or so, which has been a kind of secular bull market where the market has gone only one way, a product like BAF will underperform a pure equity fund. That is to be expected. That is the nature of the BAF. If there is a BAF product which is not underperforming, say when the market is going up 100%, if a BAF is giving 125% return, you should really be worried. Okay, because that means that fund is not being managed the way it should be. But the beauty of BAF comes when the market falls, when the market corrects. You will lose less money with a BAF. So this is how BAF over a period of time produces better returns. And to really see the beauty of BAF and to get the full benefit of BAF, it is important that you stay with that fund through a complete cycle. That you had to see the bull market and the bear market, and at the end of the whole cycle, see how the fund is performing. So my point, humble request is, please don't evaluate not only our BAF, any BAF, purely based on what happens in a bull market. That's a wrong way to look at it. So this is not a product that will that is a substitute for bank deposit, in the sense that if you need regular income, please don't invest in BAF. This is not the product for that. This is closer to a pure equity fund and than to a fixed deposit. So we also need to understand, what exactly we are selling. But it's a fantastic product for most retail investors. I mean, I can tell you personally, because I have invested significant amount of my own investment in Union Balanced Advantage Fund. So it's a fantastic product, but please, recommend it for the right reasons. So that's very important. And under the current conditions, where we as a fund house firmly believe that the markets are significantly above their fair value, BAF is one of the best products to invest in with a longer term view.
Thanks, Pradeep.